Good morning, my friends. Good morning. Happy Thursday. Happy September. Happy first week back to school, if that is what is happening in your life. And welcome back to the EQ Skills Clinic. I am so glad that you are here. So, before we jump in, if this is your first time ever joining us for the EQ Skills Clinic, I know we have several new faces around here. In just a moment, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we do here on Thursdays, a little bit about our group, and a little bit about myself and my team. So just hang tight for that. But if it is your first time joining us, I would love for you to say hello in the comments, whether you're catching me live or whether you are catching the replay. Let me know that you are here. Let me know that you are tracking with this content. We have some really fun teaching for you today. But drop a comment, drop an emoji, and let me know that you are here. If you are one of the OGs that catches the replay, then give me a hashtag replay so that I know which content you are interested in and what you're actually enjoying. So let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Dr. Shyamala. I am a podcast host, media expert for national television. I am the founder of the Kiru Psychotherapy Clinic and the Kiru Coaching Clinic, where we host a 6-month coaching program called the EQ Code. This is a program that is specifically designed for high-powered women who really want to learn how to leverage emotional intelligence to accomplish all of their goals, whether those are personal goals or professional goals. I am also a very proud mom and a wife. Just celebrated actually my 13-year anniversary on Tuesday. So, that is a little bit about me. We've got a member of my team here with us today. Her name is Brianna. You will see her in the comments below this video. If you have any questions, if you need any support, we have a lot of free resources that we offer here inside of the EQ Lab. Please don't hesitate to reach out to Brianna. You're also welcome to reach out to me personally, and we would love to know how we can better serve you. So, the EQ Skills Clinic is a weekly teaching that we deliver completely free for you every single Thursday morning. It's an opportunity for you to learn how to use emotional intelligence to your benefit. If you have spent any time with us at all, you know that we deeply, deeply believe that emotional intelligence is the strongest predictor of your success, whether that is success in your personal life or whether that is success in your professional life. And many of the women that we work with in a private capacity are really working with us so that they can leverage emotional intelligence both personally and professionally. These are women who are really ready to up level in every single area of their life, bring their best self to every single area of their life, and really be able to show up with consistency, with a sense of empowerment, and with a sense of confidence. So that's what we are all about here inside of the EQ Lab. I want you to stick around for the end of today's teaching. I'm going to tell you about a free training event that we have coming up, I think in just a few weeks. Probably less than 3 weeks or so. We have a free training event coming up, and I'm going to tell you all about that at the end of today's teaching. So let's jump into today's teaching. We are talking about specifically a combination of communication skills that really do feed into relationship management skills. So we're looking today a little bit at the intersection between communication skills and relationship management skills. If you have been tracking with us, if you have been listening to our teaching, you will know that we have a 3-pillar approach to emotional intelligence. We look at skills around emotional mastery, we look at skills around fearless communication, and we also look at skills around how to elevate our relationships. So today we're going to be looking at our second pillar in particular and how it intersects with our third pillar, which is relationship management. So, I'm going to have a little bit of fun with you today in the teaching. We are calling this the top 10 ways to ruin your relationships. And I know that you're not here to ruin your relationships. You are here to elevate your relationships. You're here to improve your relationships. You're here to have the best possible relationships ever. But I created this teaching because I want to highlight the top 10 things that we may all be guilty of doing that actually have a negative impact on our relationship. And the reason I want to share this with you, it's a bit comical to look at some of these pieces, and you'll see as we move through the content. But really, the reason I wanted to teach it in this way is because when we're able to clearly define what the problem is, then it is far easier for us to access a solution that produces long term results. Okay. So today's teaching is all about defining really clearly the part of the problem that you might be bringing to your relationship dynamics. So, without further ado, let's jump into the teaching. I have 10 pieces that I want to teach you today, and these are the top 10 ways to ruin any relationship. So, number one, let's start with attack. Attacking is a killer, and I mean that in like a negative way, not in a positive way. It is a killer skill to bring to any relationship, whether that is personal or whether that is professional. So, a great way to push your partner away, a great way to push any loved one away. In fact, a great way to push away even colleagues is to verbally attack their every move, the way they dress, the way they cook, the way they parent, the way they clean the house, whatever it is. Just don't, if you're going to use this as a methodology to ruin your relationships, the key is to not leave anything out. You want to attack anything and everything. And in fact, the more you attack another person, the more they will avoid you. So, attack is the very first way to ruin your relationships. Number two, disengage. Little bit different from attack. It's a more passive approach to ruining your relationship. So if you try to systematically disengage from anything that might create connection, this is a great way to ruin your relationships. Stop eating meals together. Don't unwind together. Don't share any interests. And most importantly, do not pay any attention to how your partner is feeling. You want to find other ways to spend your time. I mean, we've got TikTok now, right? We've got Instagram. We have Netflix. We have so many other avenues that will take our attention and allow us to truly disengage, to truly stop being attuned with and attuned to those people that are most important to us. So think about it this way, the digital connection that we can access is far more predictable than emotional connection. So if you're looking for another way to ruin your relationships, disengagement is a pretty powerful skill. Number three, hide. This is a really good one. If you want to ruin your relationships, hiding, it's pretty powerful. It has a pretty significant impact. And when I say hide, I don't just mean physically, I mean everything. You want to hide your thoughts, you want to hide your feelings, you want to hide your whereabouts, your dreams, your hopes, your fears, everything. Do not let your partner into your inner life in any way. And before you know it, you'll be perfect strangers. So, hiding is a really, really powerful way, and research tells us that hiding is a strong predictor of relationship distress. So, if you're looking for another way to ruin those relationships, hiding is a great way to do it. Number four, it's kind of related to hiding. It's called stonewalling. Stonewalling. Have you guys heard of this term? It's a term that's often used in couples therapy. So when all else fails, maybe you've tried attacking, maybe you've tried disengaging, you've tried hiding. If you want to just up the ante one more level, if you want to just take it up a notch, try stonewalling. This is truly shutting down, right? You just shut down, and it's often an easy fix for exiting any interaction. You quickly build a wall of ice cold emotion and you refuse to let that other person affect you. It's like, boop, you pop up that wall. Emotional disengagement through stonewalling is extremely effective in leaving your partner feeling abandoned and alone. So again, if you're ready to really like up that ante on ruining those relationships, stonewalling is one of those skills. Number 5, complain. This is one that we're all so familiar with, so it shouldn't be that difficult to engage in this particular skill. Complain about everything, not just your partner or that person that you love. Complain about how awful life is. Complain about how awful your partner is. Complain about how awful your job is. Complain about the weather. Just complain about all of it, because complaining just brings with you this air of negativity. So, in general, with this particular skill, what you're doing is you're giving your partner the impression that life really stinks and there is no way out of the stench. It's doom and gloom, is what you are going for with this one. So, complain. Number 5, that's the 5th way to ruin your relationships. Are you still with me? We've got 5 more. Find all flaws. Number 6, you want to be an absolute detective for the flaws. And this one should be pretty easy, right? Because if your relationship is already in a bit of distress, if things are already a little bit negative, it's pretty easy to find flaws, right? What you want to do with this one is you want to find every single last flaw that your partner has. You want to dwell on these flaws. You want to pay attention to these flaws. You sort of want to fixate on them almost, right? You want to be purposefully looking for these flaws. So even if your partner might have a few good qualities, you want to make sure you ignore these completely. If you want this particular strategy and this particular skill to really be effective and to really work at ruining your relationship, it's the flaws that matter. It's the flaws that matter. So you want to pay attention to all the flaws. Number 7, compare. Ooh, the comparison trap. It's pretty powerful at ruining relationships. You know that amazing coworker that you have that always smells so like delicious? How about your friend's husband or wife who can do no wrong, right? Your friend who's got that absolutely perfect partner. And what about your son's teacher, who's the most nurturing person you have ever met in your entire life? You want to compare all of these people to your partner, and not just in your head. You don't want to just compare in your head, although that's a really powerful place to start. Because when we start comparing the people that we love to other people in our head, it immediately changes our mood towards them. It immediately allows us to adopt a negative perspective of the other person. But if you really want to maximize this strategy, like if you want to get the most bang for your buck with this particular strategy, you actually want to share all your comparisons with your partner. You need your partner to understand how much they don't measure up. You want to see how they're failing. You want to see how they're just not good enough. They're never going to make you happy. So, comparison is number 7. Comparing your partner to anyone and everyone around you. Really powerful way to ruin your relationships. Number 8, refuse to change. This one's super easy. Just refuse. Why would you change? Really, right? Your partner is clearly the problem. The other person is clearly the problem. So don't do a single thing yourself. Don't make a single change that would make this awful situation any better. You want to keep working all the strategies and remind yourself that you're not doing anything wrong. Like you're fine just the way you are. Do not get into the trap of self reflection. The moment we become self reflective is the moment that we might actually give in to change. We might actually begin to make changes ourselves. If we're self reflective, guess what happens? We might actually begin to take responsibility for our part in the tango. So don't give in to self reflection. You just keep doing you. If you do change, if you risk changing, what might happen is you might actually salvage the relationship. So here's what we know. Here's what the research tells us is that it only takes one person in a relationship to make changes to improve the relationship. That's it. It doesn't actually take both parties to improve the health of a relationship. It only takes one person. So, if you want to make sure that you continue to ruin your relationship, just refuse to change. Stay exactly as you are today. Number 9. This is a good one. This is where we get pretty down and dirty with these strategies. The blame and shame game. Ugh, this is what I call the pièce de résistance, the blame and shame game. The best way, if you're looking to just put that like final nail in the coffin of ruining your relationship once and for all, the absolute best way to do this, the best way to just like seal the deal on ruining the relationship is to blame your partner. Blame them, shame them. You just want to make them feel really bad. You want to say it with a level of aggression, maybe even passive aggression in your voice, but you want to be blaming your partner for everything. Everything is their fault. And in fact, strategy number 9, blame and shame, totally tied to strategy number 8, which is refuse to change, right? Because if you continue to blame your partner for everything, it makes it so much easier for you to refuse to change. So you want to blame your partner for everything. But the real powerhouse with this strategy is shame. As soon as you introduce shame into your relationship, oof, the waters get super toxic. So, shame is a real self esteem killer. It is a relationship killer. So, the beauty here is that not only will you ruin your relationship, but you're probably going to ruin your partner's self esteem once you introduce shame. So, if you are here and you are ready to ruin your relationship, you're ready to go all in with these strategies, I want you to go for it. Just shame the crap out of your partner. You can use nasty language, you can use hateful words, you can have a really cold tone of voice, you can make your face really tense. I mean, there are so many ways to layer in with this particular strategy. And number 10, if you are completely ready to ruin your relationship, if you're like, I'm going to do this, Shyamala, these are amazing tips. I'm going to do tips 1 through 9. I'm going to execute on those. I am just going to go all in. Then number 10, you are going to love it. It's time to find true love. Once you've ruined your existing relationship, once you've successfully ruined your existing relationship, it's time to move on to bigger and better things. Because remember, none of it was your fault. It was all your partner's fault. You let your partner know everything that they were doing wrong. You blamed them for everything. You attacked them. You disengaged. I mean, you put in so much work. You finally rid yourself of the problem, which was clearly your partner, right? So now it's time to find true love. And with this one, the thought that's going to really help you to push this strategy forward is to remember that the grass is always greener on the other side. If I'm not the problem, then certainly the grass will be greener on the other side. I hope you're not jumping into this teaching halfway through because you're probably wondering why I have completely gone sideways with my teaching and my training. If you are just jumping in, you need to go right back to the beginning and listen to the very beginning of this training. Today, we're having a bit of fun. Today, we're having a bit of fun and we're talking about the top 10 things that most people are prone to doing that will really ruin any relationship. I hope that you had fun with me during this teaching. I think sometimes it's important to kind of lighten the mood so that we can better identify with some of the issues that might be keeping us stuck. I used a lot of sarcasm in today's teaching. I hope I really drove these points home in terms of how toxic these habits can really be. But if you're listening today and this message actually really touched something for you, if as you were listening to these top 10 ways to ruin your relationships, you found yourself identifying with a few of these, even if you found yourself identifying with three or more of these particular habits, if the sarcasm actually kind of stung you a little bit, it might be time to get some support. It might be time to get some help. As always, you are welcome to reach out to myself. You're welcome to reach out to my team. We can jump on a strategy call. We can talk about what we can do to support you and to help you to actually overturn these really negative habits that truly will ruin any relationship and help you to move into the skills that will allow you to elevate your relationships. So, if you are joining me now and you are watching this in real time, I want you to know that we have a really, really powerful 5-day training event coming up for you. Before I tell you about that, if you're live with me, will you give me a hello? Will you give us a drop an emoji in the comments for us? Let us know that you are tracking live with us. I would love to know who's here live. And I'd love to know what you thought of the teaching. And if you're joining the replay, let me know that as well. What did you think of today's teaching? We had a little bit of fun. We used a bit of sarcasm. I hope this really allowed you to see how toxic these particular skills and these particular traits are. Here's the reality though. Most of us struggle with at least a few of these skills. I know that I have. I know that I have fallen into these particular traps, particularly when my relationships are in distress. When our relationships are in distress, we are so much more prone to falling into negative habits. When our relationships are in distress, we are so much more likely to not be the best version of ourselves. Shara says, I do love the sarcasm. You know what? I got to tell you guys, it was hard for me to do it. I was like, what if people think I'm actually giving this advice? But I think the sarcasm helps to kind of drive the point home. Good morning, Andrea. I hope I'm saying that right. That's a beautiful name, Andrea. The teaching was eye opening. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you found it eye-opening. It was eye-opening even for me to go through that teaching again, for me to go through that content and recognizing how pervasive, how persistent, and how toxic certain habits are. And most of the habits that I described today in today's teaching are habits that many of us have grown up with. These are the sorts of habits that were modeled to us quite often in our family of origin, right? So these are really, really common. So listen, if you are here and any of this resonated with you, you are not going to want to miss our next free, completely free 5-day training. One of our biggest commitments in 2021 as a team was to deliver as many accessible resources to women as possible so that they could improve their lives, both personally and professionally. We are opening up, we've already opened up registration for a free 5-day training called Unlock the Success Habits of High-Powered Women. If you've attended this before, continue to listen because we've made some pretty significant changes to what we're doing this time. So Unlock the Success Habits of High-Powered Women starts on September 27th. I will be live. My team will be live with me every single day for 5 days. Think of it as like a week-long boot camp. It's like a mini incubator for emotional intelligence. So over the 5 days, we're going to teach you how to reprogram your mindset. We're going to teach you how to communicate fearlessly. We're going to teach you how to be a boundary boss, to really set those boundaries without feeling guilty. We're going to give you access to some of our high-level strategies that we use exclusively with our private clients. You're going to get access to some of that for free. Unlock the Success Habits of High-Powered Women. If you've never attended this training before, you absolutely want to register for this, I can confidently say that there is no other accessible training program at this caliber of training and teaching and coaching and support. So it's not just delivered by me. My team is with me the entire time. I do all the teaching, all the training live, but my team is working in the background to support you to make sure that you are able to achieve the goals and the results that you are looking for during those 5 days. The difference this time, if you have attended this event in the past, the difference this time are really two main things. The first thing is we are actually going to pull this training into Zoom. So in the past, we have done this training exclusively here inside the Facebook group. This time, the training is actually going to be more intimate. It's going to be more private, and we are actually going to need to cap numbers on the training in order to host it inside of Zoom. We receive free feedback from so many of you that have done free events with us in the past, and you've asked us for a little more intimacy, a little more interaction, a little more privacy. So I will be teaching it live on Zoom. You will be there with me. My team will be there with me. We will be able to interact and engage in real time through the chat. You are going to be able to get your questions answered. You're going to be able to get live coaching directly from me and my team. Okay. So that's the first change that we've made. The second change and the second option that we have available, this option is available for those of you who are really serious about getting the most out of these 5 days. If you are committed to attending live with us, if you are committed to, if you can't attend live one day, it's okay. You can watch the replay. But if you are committed to tracking with us through this content on a daily basis, doing the homework, implementing the strategies that we give you, and really creating lasting results in your life, we are also going to be doing what we call connect calls prior to the event. So, what is this? This is an opportunity for us to customize the experience for you. Okay. This is an opportunity for us to customize the experience based on what your particular needs are. Do you struggle with emotional mastery? Do you struggle with fearless communication? Are you really struggling with relationship management? What is that one area, if we could drill down for you and really help you to achieve a level of success in, what is that one area that would make a significant difference in your life? So if you are serious about accessing that level of support during this 5 days, Brianna, a member of my team, has a limited number of spots available for women who would like to connect very briefly with her, 5 to 10 minutes. She'll jump on a quick call with you to assess where you're struggling, figure out what your needs are, and she will share with you some customized resources. Okay. These are resources that are not found in the regular workbook that comes with this event. So if you are, I want you to be serious. I want you to be all in because, again, Brianna's time is very, very limited for this. But if you are all in on unlocking the success habits of high powered women, if you're ready to reprogram your mindset, if you're ready to learn how to actually communicate fearlessly, and if you are ready to actually negotiate your relationships, negotiate your boundaries without guilt, and you want us to customize this experience for you, if you want additional support, if you want additional coaching, then I need you to reach out directly to Brianna to see if you can get a spot on her calendar for a 5 to 10 minute connect call so that she can assess your needs and she can get you some personalized and customized resources. Hey, Cheryl, good to see you. Hope you'll be able to join us. All right, my friends, if you have any questions at all about this event, spaces are limited. We have to cap registration this time because we are going live on Zoom. You're going to want to register. You can reach out to me. You can reach out to Brianna. We are here to support you. Have an amazing day, my friends.